We just get no happy ending and the world is doomed but to suffer the fate of turning into rage monsters. Hey guys, welcome to another Nerd Rants video. Today we're going to be talking about just a random array of movies that I've watched in the last year that I didn't get around to doing a review for. So yeah, here we go. Just super random. We'll go in chronological order for the most part. We'll start with the new ones that I watched in theaters and then the ones that I found later. We have first up Super Mario Bros. Dude, that was so good. Like, I remember seeing like the casting announcement for it years ago and being like, no way that's a real thing. No way that's a real thing. And it finally happened, and it was great, very enjoyable. I'm not a video game person. I haven't played a whole lot of Mario and all that, but growing up with that and having brothers who, you know, play a little, so I played a little bit of that. I watched them play some of it, so I understood. Mario's still my childhood, and it was very enjoyable, even not necessarily as the biggest Mario fan. It was just very fun. Chris Pratt did way better than I thought he would, because that was the biggest, I think, controversial casting, the most controversial casting going into this with everybody, but he did great, and I forgot it was him about 2 minutes into the movie. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. It was just overall a very enjoyable movie, and I would definitely go see it again. It was just very fun, and I think did the fandom of Mario justice, I guess. The next one we're going to talk about, I think I have more to say about this one, is the Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves. I enjoyed this movie so much. Like, it was so fun to me. I've just recently got into RPG and all of that, and it's not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons, but you know, I understand, I get the gist of the movie of what it is now, and it's so fun. It would have been really, really interesting if we had had a character die and then the same actor comes back as a different character. It would have been hilarious. It would not have fit the mood or vibe of the movie at all, but it would have been hilarious. I guess that's the two different ways of doing this kind of movie, I guess, is having the serious, like, this is just a story that we're playing out side of it, which is how they played this one, or we go the comedic way and it's just an actual campaign essentially, and we have characters dying and the actors coming back as different characters. And yeah, it'd be fun to see that version of it too, but what we got was actually very, very good. I really, really enjoyed it. Because I'm a fantasy nut. You all should know this by now. I'm very much a fantasy nut. It's my favorite genre for pretty much anything. And so, just fantasy world, already great. We have Chris Pine as a bard, which is was a wonderful choice. It was a wonderful choice. He does so good. I mean, all the characters were fun and had their own quirks and all of that. We have the wizard who's just not actually that great at his job. The druid who just turns into an owlbear and mauls people. It's so fun. We have the barbarian lady who has just a bit of a thing for short people. They all just have very interesting quirks, which honestly it fits with how I feel most gaming parties end up. Is you either have the people who are very serious about, they're all like first timers or whatever, they're very serious about their characters, so they all make sense, and then we have the seasoned players who just come up with, like, it's practical, but they have this very weird, really weird thing about them. And it's, they definitely have that. The plot was pretty interesting. They're trying to, it's a heist. Yes. Well, first prison break, and then on the run, and then tracks down. It's been a hot minute since I've watched this movie. Sorry, guys. They track down Chris Pine's daughter, and the guardian, I guess, who is their old mentor, has turned her against her dad. And she's like, no, I'm not going anywhere with you. You abandoned me. She's like, oh, crap. It's, like, true, but also not how this guy has been telling you, blah, 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 blah. And then has to go off and find a way to get her back. And we got the red witches, called a red witch or whatever, trying to basically bring on the end of the world. And, oh gosh. They have, I don't remember what the wand is called. Wand of Sending or something. It makes portals. And the way they use it in their end of their plan, their heist, whatever, trying to break into this vault to get an artifact. And it's so cool because they use it, and they spoilers, but I assume most people who have care have seen it. Anyway, they use portal wand on a picture frame and then put the painting back over it to hide it, and it's so cool how they get in there. And it was just so, it was a solid fantasy movie. It doesn't even really need to, you don't really even need to be a Dungeons & Dragons player or fan or to understand really anything about Dungeons & Dragons to know what's going on. The only real thing you get with the Dungeons & Dragons, like, knowledge of Dungeons & Dragons is you can pinpoint, like, classes and whatever else, but that's not important for the enjoyment of the movie. So it's just a great fantasy movie. And it's very fun. It's been long enough that I don't have a whole lot to say about those two movies. Now we're going to get into the ones that I've watched more recently. These are the ones that did not come out this year. They're older movies that I found and watched. So, but I watched them more recently, so I'll have more things to say about these. First, The Swan Princess. It is literally just Swan Lake. It is just a remake of Swan Lake, but the princess, I don't even remember the prince's name right now. Derek? No, that doesn't sound right. Anyway, the prince is whatever his name is again. Yeah. His manservant is the best character ever. He's just so freaking sassy, and it's amazing. It's incredible. I love it so much. Is the best part of the movie. For those of you who are on the internet, know about memes and have seen that, you've probably seen the photo set of, or the photo of, there's a captioned picture, whatever, where it's this older animated movie. It's the animated guy going, you should write a book. How to offend women in 5 syllables or less. That's him. That's who I'm talking about. It's the best. He's the best. It's so good. As a movie, I mean, it's a decent movie. Like, the plot line is Swan Lake. And so it's been done before. And so it's not necessarily super intriguing, but the sassy manservant is great. We also have a frog who thinks he is a cursed prince, and he is a very interesting character to follow. So this whole movie, he's trying to get Odette, the princess, to kiss him, and then I'll be a prince again. That's his whole thing. At the end of the movie, because of how he helped her break her curse of being turned into a swan, she gives him a kiss. He doesn't turn into a prince. He's just a frog with a weird delusion. But he walks up to a pond to look at his reflection, and a prince walks up right behind him, and so he thinks he's turned back into a prince. And so he goes into the party and starts freaking people out. And it's so great to me that he's just a delusional frog. I love that he is just straight up a delusional frog. It's so good. Oh man. And then we have the turtle, who's just super fast in the water. He's not a super memorable character. And then we have, is it Admiral Puffin? For those who've seen the movie, correct me if I'm wrong, but no, I don't think it's Admiral. No. He's got some sort of military title, but he's just a puffin. He's straight up just a puffin. And but like drill sergeant puffin. Like, I have military experience, I know strategy, blah, 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 and he's... The characters in this are kind of just outlandish and a bit far-fetched, and it's great, because they just took this aspect of them and exaggerated it, and it's very fun. It's like, plot-wise, it's a very just average plotline, but the characters were pretty great. Okay. Next one. 28 weeks later. It's sort of a zombie apocalypse movie, only instead of the undead, it's a rage virus, they call it. So you get bit and you just go crazy with anger and start attacking people. I recognized a surprising number of people in it, because like it's not, I think it was a made-for-TV movie or something, but it has the actor for Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time. It has Jeremy Renner. It has the actor who plays the main character in Tenet is a general. Has the lady who plays the mom in Instant Family. If you know what that movie is, I can't remember what else she's in right now. But had quite a few recognizable characters. Or, excuse me, actors. Recognizable actors. Not necessarily huge big name actors, except maybe Jeremy Renner, but very recognizable characters. Actors. I keep calling them characters, guys. It's actors. They're actors. They play characters. Anyway. Yes. And it's an interesting plotline. So basically all of the island of England is overrun by this rage virus, until there's like nobody left. Everybody's infected, and then all of the infected starve and die out. And so America sends the military in to make sure that it's like virus-free. They go, yeah, there's no virus, all the infected are dead, we've cleared an area that's like a green zone or whatever, where we know for a fact, like, it's cleared out, it's sanitized, there's no contaminant, and they start sending people back to England. And this is 28 weeks after the outbreak, I think. Or, well, we have the opening of the movie, which is in the midst of the outbreak, where we get introduced to, we call him Rumpelstiltskin. I don't remember the actor's name. It's like something Carlisle or something. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name. Anyway, his character. We get introduced to him, and kind of just gets you into the movie with it, and then you have it skipping by weeks and telling you kind of like, this is what happened at this many weeks, this is what happened at this many weeks, and then at 28 weeks after that opening scene, his character's kids are brought back to England. And they're more the main characters than anyone else. So everybody's back all these characters are in England. Jeremy Renner is an American soldier. He's there as protection for the Green Zone. We have, I don't remember the actress's name, but anyway, the instant family lady, she, her character is like the medical expert, and then Tenant Guy's character is a general that's in charge of the whole thing. So yeah, these kids come back, and like their mom got killed during the outbreak. And their dad tells them, we're probably never going to get to go back to our old house because, like, it's this whole, they're basically decontaminating the entire country. So, you know, a very long time, if ever, before they get to go back. So they sneak out of these kids sneak out of the Green Zone to get things from their house and find their mother alive. And they realize that she is kind of immune. Like the body fights off the infection, so she doesn't go nuts and start attacking people, but she still carries the virus. So she is a carrier for the virus, but she doesn't go full rage monster. And so because of that, obviously, the virus gets out again. And so there's a whole new outbreak, and the American military is trying to stop all these infected before it gets out of hand. They fail. And now, Stiltskin's character's kids, because their mom was a carrier, but technically she herself is immune, there's a possibility that both of them are. The son and daughter are. And so we have a medical expert trying to keep them alive throughout this outbreak, so that she can find a vaccine or a cure or something so that she can help the people who have been infected. And Jeremy Renner's character helps her. He goes against orders to just kill everyone to prevent the outbreak, and tries to help them escape. I will say, the reason that the virus gets started up again is a little bit dumb. So yeah, Stiltskin's character finds out his wife is still alive, uses his security clearance, abuses his security clearance to get in to see her without permission. And he's talking to her and asking for forgiveness because he abandoned her, and that's why she got bit. And she goes, "Yep, I forgive you," which is a little bit like, really? Seriously? You just forgive him like that? And then he kisses her, and she's a carrier of the disease, and so her saliva and all her DNA mix with his, and so he gets infected. And I'm sitting here going, one, that kiss did not really seem to suit the scene. I saw it coming though. Like, he went in there. I go, oh crap, he's gonna get infected. And then he starts talking like, oh crap, he's gonna kiss her. And then he goes for it. And I'm like, no, dude, you idiot. You idiot. Don't kiss her. She's literally in isolation and strapped to a hospital bed. She's restrained. They restrain her as a precaution. And you... I don't know what's going through his brain. He's a guy, so potentially nothing. So yeah, that's how the new outbreak starts. And then it's just all downhill from there. And everyone's getting infected. And yeah, despite this super dumb way that the outbreak starts, once it starts going and we get into it, the movie, honestly, it gets pretty good after that. So we have a group of, there's 8 of them that escape the firing squad, essentially, with just snipers shooting people from the roof. It's Jeremy Renner, the medical expert, the 2 kids, and then 3 other adults. Yeah. And so they're trying to escape the city and get away from the outbreak so they can get somewhere safe. 2 of them get sniped from a roof as they're running across the street. Another one gets flung from a helicopter because Jeremy Renner calls one of his military friends to pick him up in a helicopter. Or, yeah. And he gets there, and he's like, you have civilians with you. We're supposed to have killed them so that the outbreak can't spread. So he's like, I'm not taking them with him. And this guy freaks out and goes, take me with you, grabs onto the landing gear, I guess, of the helicopter. And so he starts flying and flings him off. And then he starts chopping zombies up with the propellers of zombies. We'll call them zombies, because they essentially are. He starts chopping infected and the zombie infected people up with the blades of his helicopter. I'm not sure how practical if that would really work. He started flying towards them, and I'm just like, what's happening? And then they start getting cut up by the propellers. I'm like, I mean, yes, that is kind of what would happen with when you hit a helicopter propeller, but also, is that actually feasible? Could someone actually do that? Because you're flying very close to the ground. Like, yeah, I don't know. That one was stretching my believability a little bit. So anyway, they lose their ride. They have to go through the city to the stadium to get picked up. And so we're down to Jeremy Renner, the medical expert, and the 2 kids. 4 people. From the get-go. I did not think I knew the others weren't going to make it. I knew it was going to be those 4 that would survive. But I was wrong. Yeah. The thing, this is where it gets to the part where I was not expecting it at all. They're going through the city, and then the military gases the city to stop the infected. I'm like, crap, gas. We're gonna die. So they get into a car, and they're trying to start the car so that they can get out of this cloud of gas. It's not starting. The military are coming through with flamethrowers to burn the infected. And she's like, crap, they're gonna find us in this car. They're gonna kill us. And so Jeremy Renner's character gets out of the car so that he can, like, push them to get things moving so that the car will start. And I'm like, okay, cool. He's gonna push the car, it's gonna start, and then, he's gonna run off and meet up with them at the stadium. Right? Right? No, he gets torched. He straight up gets torched. Like, the way he said, yeah, I'll meet you then. Like, oh yeah, cool, it's feasible. Sure. And then he starts pushing the car. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is going to work. The gas is kind of working as a fog. He'll get away. Nope. As the car is getting started, he gets hit with a freaking flamethrower. And I'm going, you killed Jeremy Renner's character? That's not at all what I was expecting. So yeah, after I'm getting over the shock of that, we have the medical expert with him and the kids going into just subway tunnels, I guess, which are pitch black. She's using the night vision on the scope of Renner's sniper rifle to see and to guide these kids, and she's not doing it gently. Like, she keeps, the way she's directing, like, ma'am, chill out. Chill out. Why are you just screaming at them to move? Like, chill out. This is not working, obviously. And the more scared they are, the clumsier they're gonna be. So yeah, they fall down the stairs, which is covered in corpses of dead infected and such. Partially because she's just kind of screaming at them. And I'm just, lady, chill out. Like, seriously, I get you're terrified, but chill out. You're military. You should understand to some extent how to, like, keep your composure in stressful situations. Anyway, yeah. So they're in pitch black. And she's trying to find the kids. She finds the girl. The girl's freaking out because she can't find her brother. And then the medical expert gets attacked by a freaking infected. And like, beat to death. Yeah. Another fun thing, the kids' dad, Rumpelstiltskin's actor's character, the first guy to get infected, for dumb reasons. He's following them the entire time. There's some level of sanity left. Like, he knows enough, he understands enough to go, those are my kids. I'm gonna target them. And then chase them the whole movie. And so the kids are on their own now, trying to find their way to the stadium so they can get out of the freaking city, out of the country. And they get attacked by their rage monster dad, who bites the son, who turns out to be just a carrier, personally immune, like his dad, like his mom. Wrong parent. Dad very much not immune. Yeah. And so he's like, crap, I got bit. Runs away from his sister. One of the few actually, like, smart decisions happening right now. Like, dude, good for you. Like, I'm bit. I'm gonna turn into a rage monster. Go save yourself. But, because siblings, and she can't abandon family, she chases after him, lies and says, no, you're not one of them. You're not one of them. They go to the stadium, find the helicopter guy. He goes, where's my friend? They go, he's dead. We're the only ones left. He goes, okay, I'm gonna take you across the channel, over into France, save you guys. But the son is a carrier. So, we end the movie with a scene of infected people going on a rampage through Paris. And that's how it ends. And I'm just like, oh, great. No happy ending. I thought maybe the kids would get out, so then they could find a cure. But no, we just get no happy ending, and the world is doomed to suffer the fate of turning into rage monsters. Yay. So yeah, that's 28 weeks later. It's an interesting one. Not necessarily top of my list. Like, it was enjoyable, I guess, and it was interesting. But yeah. Kind of a meh movie, I guess. It definitely subverted my expectations with killing both Jeremy Renner and the medical expert lady. So yeah. Anyway. The last one is one I watched most recently. Seventh Son. It's honestly a very interesting fantasy movie. There's, yeah, it's basically, we have the spook, as he's called, who handles the magical creatures like ghosts and boggarts and witches, and he's kind of a hunter. He kind of hunts down evil creatures and either captures or kills them. Anyway, this guy's getting old, and this is the actor who plays the Giver in The Giver. Yeah, there's also quite a few actors that I recognized in this movie as well. It's interesting. So, anyway, he needs an apprentice. His previous few have been brutally killed during one of the missions. So yeah, we get to watch the last one die. So then he's looking for a new one, and he finds Tom Ward. Ben Barnes, played by Ben Barnes, and we love Ben Barnes. So yeah, it's a very fun movie. It's interesting with the plot, whether it's an interesting plot line, and I enjoyed it. The Witch Queen, I recognize the actress. I don't actually remember what she's in off the top of my head, but I do recognize the Witch Queen's actress. I will say the romance between Alice, the witch girl, and Tom was predictable. I knew it was happening. There was some predictability in this movie, but it was still fun. We also have what is the name of Ronan's the black cyborg henchman that Drax yanks the brain out of? Does anyone remember his name? I don't. I can't, because he's not a huge character. But anyway, that actor, what else is he in? I think he's playing the dad in Gran Turismo, the racing movie that's coming out, if anyone's seen that trailer. Anyway, that guy, he plays one of the witches, warlocks, whatever. So he plays one of the bad guys, so he's fun. He turns into a giant lizard, and it's great. I will give props for the CGI in this. All of the witches turn into different animals, and they're actually, CGI is actually pretty great. The Witch Queen turns into a dragon, which doesn't actually do that much. It's a little unfortunate. Instead, she's in her human form, she just has a tail, which is a little weird. But she doesn't really turn into a dragon all that much, which is a little sad. It's just in the final battle with her sis. I don't know if it's her actual sister or just we're both witches, so we're sisters. I don't actually remember. I don't think they ever say one way or the other. Anyway. Yes, it was very fun. I had fun watching it, and it was interesting. And yes, again, the CGI was pretty good. The acting was pretty good, especially Ben Barnes is great. He's always great. These obviously, they're not the best movies ever, because I don't have a whole lot to say about really any of them. I walked you through the entire plot of 28 Weeks Later, and that's the only reason I had a whole lot to say about it, because, yeah. This one's kind of a fairly generic fantasy movie, I guess, is the general concept of, oh, good versus evil. The most, I guess, unique thing about it is the whole concept of not all witches are bad, not all witches are good. We're people too, so we still get to decide, and having that debate, I guess, in there. But yeah, it was interesting, and I kind of like the world that they build, the magic system that they put in there. very much a soft magic system because they did not explain like anything about how it works. But yeah, it is fun. I will say they have Tom having visions in the beginning of the movie, and that kind of like he's a little bit of an oracle, I guess. He has the power of sight, of foresight. I mean, but they stop addressing it about halfway through the movie, and they also like the whole thing is he has some. It's almost like a panic attack. He starts shaking and can't do anything. He's, panicking. He's like, I know what's happening. I don't like it. And then he has his visions, and that also kind of fades throughout the movie, which I don't necessarily like. I kind of like that he gets a little bit immobilized, and he has that forewarning of like he starts shaking before he has a vision. But yeah. I don't know. It was a very fun movie. I liked it. Very enjoyable. So honestly, I'd recommend all of these movies, at least for a one-time watch through. They're all very good. They're all at least a 5 out of 10 or a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know how. I have no rating system. Half the time I don't rate the movie, I just rant about it and let you figure out my opinion later via context clues. But yeah, they're all at least worth one watch, because they all have something that's super enjoyable about them. So yeah, those are the random movies that I have watched over the last 8 months that weren't like so good I needed to do it do their own a whole video dedicated to them. So yeah. Those are my thoughts on those. If you've watched any of these, which I'm sure a lot of you watched the first 2, but like the last 3, how many of you have actually heard of or watched Swan Princess, 28 Weeks Later, and The Seventh Son? Anyway, if you've watched those last 3 specifically, but any of them, you feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments as well. You can also drop your recommendations. I post videos every Wednesday and Friday, and I'll see you all next time.